I am the king of the listening. I can hear cars and the birds sing. I am up into my mindful zone, even though now I'm not alone. Yeah, the sounds they come and go. What's a sound, Joe? I don't know. Now does it
Welcome, and thank you for joining me for another video. And like always, Kism, keep it simple, Max. And that's what I plan on doing today as we explore mindful thinking. But before we go, let's check in with ourselves. And you know how we do, right? On a scale of 1 to 5, if your body is feeling like its normal self, give yourself a 5. If not, 1, 2, or 3, 4, right? And let's move on to the mind. Where's your mind? On a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being I'm sharp, 1 being not feeling my normal self. Now, as we move on to the heart, same thing. 5, my heart is open. 1, not so open. Now, good. Just understand where you are in this moment, in this present moment. And let's check back in at the end of this video to see exactly where our mind, body, and heart are. Now, like I mentioned in the beginning, mindful thinking. Mindful thinking is what we'll jump into today. Now, with mindful thinking, there's 3 aspects of that, or 3 things that come with that. That is the past, the present, and the future. Now, like mindfulness, like we talked this whole year, is about being in the present. However, our past, which is I should have done this, I wish I would have done that, man, I missed out on that, can affect our present and not allow us to be in the present moment. Now, also the future. I can't wait to, or I want to do this, or what's waiting for me. So our mind can keep us stuck in the past, or it can take us in the future and skip right over the present moment of where we need to be. Now, with that being said, how do we get ourselves to the present moment? And that comes with the non-judgmental awareness. That is being able to keep things in the past and say it is what it is. And whatever happened, happened, and you bring yourself back to the present moment. Let it go. No good, no bad. It happened. And what I like to do is I like to find my anchor spots. I find my rhythm in my breathing. I find my breath. And I find my anchor spots. Now, the same thing holds true for the future. Sometimes we get excited and we can't wait till we go on this trip. We can't wait till our birthday. We can't wait for other moments. However, these things, these distractions, our thoughts can take us away from the present moment of how we're feeling and how we are doing. It's just a distraction. It's distracting us from what's really important in the present moment. So, I'm going to ask you in this moment if we can practice a little non-judgmental awareness. Whatever's on your mind, I invite you to explore, name it, and let it go with no judgment, and bring yourself back to your breath, to your rhythm, to your anchor spots. If you like to close your eyes, take a second, take a moment. But whatever thoughts you have for the past or the future, let them go. Bring yourself back to the present moment. Good, thank you. Now, As we move forward in this lesson, a reminder that the present moment allows us to check in with our emotions. It allows us to be able to create moments that allow us to be here in the present, that allow us to check in with our thoughts, our emotions, our body, and our hearts. Now, as we talk about and we continue with mindfulness or mindful thinking, I want you to think about this. If we can be able to take the past and take the future and be able to remove those two things, imagine how our hearts and how our bodies and our minds will feel. How did it feel in that moment when you were able to name whatever emotions you had that was you were holding on to in the past or the future? Being able to breathe and just focus on your breathing. Now, in addition to thinking about the past and future, we create it's normalcy. We think of it as normal. And it is normal. It's common. And so let's break that commonality. Let's break those distractions and have control and be able to manage our emotions, our feelings, our thoughts, and our present. So, as a reminder and a takeaway from this lesson, mindful thinking is finding ways that you can be present in the moment with your feelings, with your emotions, with your thoughts. Right now, in this moment. That's what's important. I can't predict the future, and we can't change or go back to the past. So let's focus here on the present. And before we go, let's check in with ourselves again. Take a moment to think of how you're feeling in this moment, your body, your mind, and your heart. Take that moment. And for a daily practice to take with you, we're going to do a mindful sit, mindful breathing, just so we have that practice of getting ourselves back and maybe staying in the present moment. So as you hear the sound begin to fade, we can bring ourselves to balance. But before, if your feet are on the floor, 2-4. If your spine is straight, 6-8. And if your hands in your lap and you're relaxed and your heart's to the sky, let's take off. And as the sound begins to fade and we begin to find our space, find our place, and find our balance, I ask you to notice your breath and how you normally inhale, pause, and exhale. Notice the sound of your breath as you take a breath in or inhale in. Notice the sound on the exhale. And if we can name whatever sound we are hearing, the ocean crashing on the beach, whatever your breath sounds like, take a moment. So if we can find an anchor spot, the nose, the belly, the chest, some even the rib cage, and notice the feedback that your breath is giving you. Do you feel the temperature or the force of your breath on the inhale or the exhale? Do you feel the rise and the fall, or the expansion and release? What do you notice in this moment? And there's no good, there's no bad, it's just a moment that we are aware of. Find that rhythm. And if your mind is beginning to wander, no worries, no judgment, just quickly bring yourself back to the present moment. And for me, I like to take a intentional inhale just to hear the sound and feel my body working. And before we exit this sit, I encourage you to continue to check in with yourself, to practice non-judgmental awareness, find your anchor spots, and to capture yourself being in the present moment. And if you find yourself in the past or going to the future, once again, no judgment, quickly use the tools that we have discussed and practiced today. And as we continue to practice, then we continue to work towards being in the present moment. And as we hear the sound begin to fade, let's bring ourselves back to the present moment with open ears, open minds, open hearts, open eyes. Thank you for joining me. Check in with yourself. Where's your heart? Where's your mind? Where's your body right now? Until next time.